Good morning, everybody, and a happy Monday morning to you. All right. You guys know that certain people have doxed us. They've tried everything possible to get us offline, and it looks like they're taking a different direction now. So, you know me, I would never say anything unless I had the proof. I was on a live the other day with Duchess of Narcissus. A big thank you to her for a lot of the slides on here, which I was missing. Trevor Colt was on. You guys are going to want to watch this. I have a lot of new subscribers, so I'm going to be giving some background information. And as well, this basically is what's affecting all the Megxit channels, okay? It's everybody. It's Megan's Mole, it's Royal Daily Tea, it's Popcorn Palace, it's Steph the Alternate, all of us. There are 3 videos today, but no royal family video, okay? So no royal family video, but there are 3. Let's go. When I was on my live with the Duchess of Narcissus the other day and Trevor Colt, I noticed that this article was brought up, Prince William's biggest scandals. And this was written by Jack Royston, who is a reporter for Newsweek. Mr. Royston has consistently written articles praising Christopher Boozy and praising Omid Scobie and slamming the royal family. Now, here's the weird thing. We all know about Christopher Boozy. We know that he has been running a hate account on Twitter. It all came out. He says horrible things about the royal family. We know Christopher Boozy. He praises Harry and Meghan and William and Catherine bad, okay? We all know about his history. He was the iconic expert. He was cryptocurrency. He got a bunch of money from people. He promised all this stuff. He didn't deliver. He took the money. He left. He scammed people. It's all online. Please feel free to stop the screen and read everything for yourself. These people never got their money back. He took it all. And you guys can research this all for yourself online. And of course, in his past, we heard he tried to start a dating website that appears to have been a front for something else. We found out that Boozy got a COVID loan. Now remember, just him in his house, but he applied for a COVID relief loan and got well over $200,000. Then we found out that he filed bankruptcy to keep him and his girlfriend at the time from being evicted, but he had money and he got in trouble for that. Well, it didn't take long for Boozy to turn his attention to me after claiming that he's not going to bring other people's family into this mess. But of course, he started tweeting where he mentioned the state that I lived in, my age, what I did for a living, my son's autism, what my husband did for a living, part of my Instagram account handle, you name it, and he put it out there. And then he told everybody in multiple tweets that I stole photos and he's going to sue me. And the next thing I knew, I got a cease and desist letter in the mail written by his bankruptcy attorney, which basically I wiped my ass with it. I have no doubt his bankruptcy attorney told him that from state to state, these are useless. But, he got a favor done and sent. So then he started sending copyright complaints to YouTube, and YouTube told him to go jump because the picture I was using was available all over the web. Sorry, you can't claim copyright. So then he started a GoFundMe for a fund. He's going to sue me. He told everybody he was going to sue me. But then he didn't sue me, and he took the money. And he couldn't sue me because he knew he didn't have a case. He would have to find an attorney in my state and get that attorney. He'd have to pay him up front and convince him that what I did was illegal, and free speech isn't illegal. He went around telling everybody I'd been demonetized when I hadn't been and still haven't been. He continues to throw my name out there every chance he gets, telling everybody I'm a racist and making fun of the scars on my face. For those of you who don't know, I was in a horrible, horrible accident. I was the only survivor, and I, hit the windshield with my face. Now, he then got my nursing license number and encouraged people to report me to the South Carolina Nursing Board. Yeah, that didn't work either. And then he resorted to insinuating that my parents were cousins. And we all know that back in 2021, YouTube, without warning, shut my channel down. And Christopher Boozy was gloating all over. Isn't this just the most fabulous thing? We all knew he had a hand in it. He basically admitted he had a hand in it. So then I was contacted by a journalist, and I thought, I've got nothing to lose. I'll give him an interview. And he contacted YouTube, and I got my channel back. Well, let me tell you, that made Boozy go absolutely mental. So at that time, Ellie Hall, another sugar, who put up the tweet you see above basically bullying Catherine, contacted YouTube directly, and she was told that it was a mistake, which it was. So you guys are getting all this back information. Let me explain why. We're going to go back to Mr. Royston in just a minute. So Christopher Boozy puts up this tweet. These are YouTube hate channels, and we're going to be giving this list to YouTube. And he's asking other sugars to please send him other channels that he can report. And tweets like this would come out. Now, keep in mind that Bot Sentinel is dead in the water. It doesn't work anymore unless, Christopher Boozy can pay, I think it was like $50,000 a month to scrape data. He was scraping data. And Elon Musk said anybody that scrapes data, he's going to sue. So that was the end of Bot Sentinel. He supposedly is working on a workaround, but hasn't been able to come up with it. So this is all information that Jack Royston would have had he been any kind of a reporter before he had Christopher Boozy on his podcast. So now Jack Royston does his Newsweek podcast, okay? So Jack Royston calls this the Newsweek Royal Report. So as far as I'm concerned, Newsweek is totally complicit in this. Now, I've told you guys that they were messing with the advertisers from YouTube. Here's what Jack Royston said, and I'm quoting. I can't play it for you because it'll be a copyright, but I'm quoting. Here we go. So Christopher Boozy starts talking about Amnesty International and an ad that showed up on one of the quote-unquote hate channels. And with that, Jack Royston breaks in and says, one striking thing as well is the difference in response from Google and YouTube versus Twitter. I think your first report, Christopher, was into Twitter only. And when you did that first report, we reached out to Twitter and they came back to us with a comment, and you disagree quite strongly with that comment. But they did engage with us, and they did engage with the research you were doing. Now remember, this podcast took place in January of 22, all right? And it was October of 21 that Christopher Boozy did this ridiculous report that people literally laughed at. And it was October of 21 that Jack Royston did this article on how YouTube profits from Meghan Markle troll accounts. And notice he wrote that article on the 28th because on the 27th, he wrote an article about how Twitter said there was no evidence of widespread coordination. You see what's going on here? All right, you guys, that is the end of video number 1. You are going to want to follow me on to video number 2. The link is in the description box. Don't forget to hit the like button and follow me on over. Let's go.